Hi everybody, I'm David with Bolivar Live. Well, I hope you've enjoyed the first 2 weeks on the history of the Port Bolivar Lighthouse. I'm here with Amy Maxwell Chase, and now for the next 2 weeks, we're going to talk about the Bolivar Lighthouse Foundation. Who owns the homes, why the foundation was formed, and on this show, we'll talk up to this point, I should say, and then we're going to talk about the future. So, the lighthouse, it's privately owned.
It is.
What families own the lighthouse?
So the Boyd family and the Maxwell family own the property. And
it's been around 151 years now. And like anything, 151 years, it needs repairs.
Yes.
And so let's talk about the Lighthouse Foundation and why it was formed and what y'all's plans are.
Awesome, David. So the foundation, the Bolivar Point Lighthouse Foundation, is a 501c3 nonprofit. It was started back in 2015 to restore the lighthouse back to her former glory of now 151 years. We envision a fully restored lighthouse, and this is our commitment, and to share her with the world once fully restored and back to her beauty and open her to the public. The mission, again, we're saving this. And like you said, it's the welcome mat, it's the exit mat. This lighthouse is iconic and means everything to this peninsula and just so much Texas history.
And Galveston County.
And Galveston, absolutely it does, absolutely. And Houston ship pilots. I mean, I've got Houston ship pilots that say, Amy, oh my God, just to come in and, when we had the light up before the crowd removal, just exactly what this means.
The board members.
Yes.
Y'all handpicked the board members for a lot of them because of their background.
Yes.
Let's talk real quick about that because I'm really impressed with the board that you have.
I will tell you this, so it is all a passion project from every one of us. We are all volunteers, 100% volunteer on the board. We have Michael Maxwell as the president. We have Mark Boyd, so just one from each side of the family. And then we have Jody DeSantis, who is our treasurer. And I will tell you all this, she does not sleep. She eats, sleeps, and brings lighthouses. We are blessed beyond measure of what she brings with her background and experience and her love. We are blessed to have Sid Bose, who is just absolutely amazing. Everybody knows Sid.
Longtime resident.
Longtime resident of Bolivar, and just an incredible soul that just loves this lighthouse and wickedly smart. And gosh, I could just go on and on about Sid and how fabulous that we're blessed to have him on the board. With all of his expertise. And we have former Congressman Nick Lampson, who comes with just an whole background of just wealth and information, absolutely, and connections and people. We're very blessed to have Nick on our board. They've all been instrumental.
And your position on the board?
I'm the executive director.
Okay.
So I will say when we all started all of this, that the Bolivar Point Lighthouse Foundation, through a long-term agreement, they control and coordinate. They are coordinating the restoration of the lighthouse. So we're raising the necessary funds. We oversee the operations, including visitor access when that comes to that. So the board manages this. The families have leased this to
the foundation.
The foundation, absolutely. For the foundation to be able to control and, like I said, the access and everything, the fundraising. So the board has full control of that. So that was one of the first things that we did when we were formed.
And I'm going to say something about Amy real quick. And I'm going to put her on the spot. Amy moved to Galveston. The whole family moved to Galveston because of your love for the lighthouse. And so she's made a big commitment and left a job that was doing well in because of the lighthouse and the love. And when I call Amy and talk to her, usually she's going 90 miles an hour down the road somewhere, and I say, hey, what about this date? I don't know, I have to look at my pad, because every day it's something about the lighthouse, whether it's at a group meeting speaking about the lighthouse, the Rotary clubs, just really involved with everything around Texas, and you've traveled some too, to make sure the lighthouse, one, is brought back to its original form, but also that people know about it. And she goes out of her way, and I won't say what time, but we've got some lights up, and she drove across last night. This was actually weeks ago, because she was worried. That's the love, and that's the drive that she has with the lighthouse, and so I love working with her. Hope I didn't put you on the spot, but I want people to know that this isn't a family matter. This is a foundation matter, and this is a Bolivar Peninsula and Galveston County matter, because everyone has ties to this for tourism, for kids, everything. So okay, now you can go.
Now that I'm blushing, and thank you. And you know what, David, it's a team effort. We are so blessed by this. Again, the people that just God keeps bringing in and just into this world. I keep saying, for the love of a lighthouse, it's for the love of a lighthouse. It's a passion project, but this is not me. I mean, the team and the people that we're surrounded with, we're blessed beyond measure. And that's how we've been able to make happen what we've been able to make happen, which is truly incredible.
So you formed the foundation, you had some fundraisers, and Mother's Day weekend, boom, it's gone. The top comes off. What did it take to get to that point?
So a lot of things, David. And I will tell you, we brought in experts from the East Coast. I mean, you're dealing with a 151-year-old structure, right? We have an amazing architect with Architects, Larry Ersick, that I'll tell you, happened to meet him on an airplane 5 years ago, flying back from my former career with Pfizer, when he sat down next to me on a plane. So it took a lot of work. It took a lot of team, but I'll tell you, when it was all said and done, Jordan McMillan, Dee McMillan, my gosh, Austin Gibson, Jordan McMillan, my goodness, Jordan, Mariah Mendoza, that team put this whole thing together and made it happen. George said he went and got popsicle sticks out of Dee's Arts and Crafts, and he concocted this apparatus that was amazing. It was built in Galveston, so it was awesome. This was all local, and I'll tell you, the head of his team, we were able to magically lift this crown. And I'll tell you, David,
and people don't realize how big of a job that is, because it's 151 years old and it's falling apart literally. As every time you walk up the stairs, something's falling off. And so to be able to build this, and George has a house moving background, so he knows about supports and pre-supports and post-supports and moving stuff, but it was just amazing looking at it.
And David, on top of this, the weather, I mean, had not cooperated. It was Mother's Day weekend, and I will tell y'all, we were at a restaurant the day before,
and it flooded.
It flooded. There was water coming in the windowsill. The tablecloth was wet. I literally got it from the table, and I called George, and I said, oh my gosh, we just can't. I mean, it's underwater, flooded. And he said, you know what, Amy? We're going to get up, we're going to pray, and that weather's going to be just fine, and we are going to successfully and easily, we're going to pull that crown off, and it's going to be flawless. And by golly, that's exactly what happened. At the helm. I mean, we just can't thank the entire team, but how awesome that we could do all this locally. And what
even the crane was from Texas, locally.
Yes. Monty Guidry and oh my goodness, Melvin, our crane driver from D South Crane. We are forever indebted to Sunbelt for coming and providing man lift that could help us with that. Wayne, Lighthouse Marine. I mean, Rick Cherry, I mean, we've got a whole list, and I don't want to leave anyone out when I do things like this, but I will tell you this, we are blessed beyond measure. IMC over in Galveston that built this apparatus. It truly is amazing. George said we're going to do this on May 15th, and by golly, this came up on May 15th. I
remember the phone call. You called me about a month ahead of time because you knew I'd need to set up a camera, and we actually have a video, several videos on our Bolivar Live where we were at Fort Travis zoomed in. And from the time it started that morning, everything's recorded on the shows, and you can go back and see the show when they actually lifted off. And you could almost hear everyone over here.
Oh yes,
as it came down, but the structure, the supports, what he built to keep it up, because you had to keep it together.
You did.
So you knew how to rebuild it.
Absolutely.
And it's just crazy.
It really is. We're blessed, and I will say that this is incredible. So with our first big fundraiser that we had last year, our first commitment was to get this top off, because David, if we didn't, Mother Nature was going to.
Yeah.
And we knew it was fragile, we knew it was delicate, but until we got up there and we got that, and she was safely brought down, we didn't really understand the extent. So we are so blessed, and what is amazing is that the foundation, this was our first commitment, and we delivered on our promise.
Right.
And we were able to make that happen, and again, execute it flawlessly. We are forever blessed that we got that off safely and capped as our first, that was our first commitment, our first phase 1A, and by golly, we were blessed that we were able to do it, and again, be able to do this locally with the love of support from
everyone.
Yeah.
Right. Well, right now we've talked up to this point, and our next show is going to be all about the future. What the Lighthouse Foundation has planned in the coming months, years, and what it's going to take to get the top put back on her so she's not topless anymore.
That's right.
So we'll be back next week with our final show on the Bolivar Lighthouse in the future. Amy, thanks for joining us. Until next time, I'm David with Bolivar Live. Y'all have a great day, great week. Come see us. God bless, and bye-bye. The Big Store, located at 2385 Highway 87 in Crystal Beach, Texas, on Bolivar Peninsula. If you're on Bolivar Peninsula and you need anything, stop by the Big Store, where you'll be greeted by a staff of smiling faces and a staff that's eager to help you find what you're looking for. The Big Store is a fully stocked grocery store with fresh fruits and vegetables, meat department with hand-cut steaks, canned goods, dairy products, frozen foods, and beer and wine. The Big Store is also home to a gift shop, camping and fishing supplies, RV supplies, tools and hardware, and home goods, all under one roof. The Bolivar Peninsula Superstore, like they say, if the Big Store doesn't have it, chances are you really don't need it. For more information on the Big Store and their weekly sales ad, please visit www.thebigstore.us.